So this is the regular press conference by Minister Hayashi. Over to you. Thank you. First of all, on the 20th, I will be visiting Washington, D.C., United States from July the 28th through the 31st. During my visit, the first meeting of EPIC, EPCC, U.S.-Japan Economic Policy Consultative Committee will be held. The so-called Economic 2+2 was agreed to be launched by our leaders back in January during their video conference. In order to strengthen our competitiveness and resilience, and to preserve and enhance a free and open economic order, I'll be joined by Minister Hagiuda of Economy, Trade and Industry to conduct discussions with State Secretary Blinken and Commerce Secretary Raimondo from strategic perspectives. The plan is to reaffirm Japan-U.S. close collaboration on diplomatic, security and economic issues. We've had a series of 2+2 meetings on diplomatic, security and defense issues, but the launch and convening of Economic 2+2 clearly demonstrate our shared recognition that in today's global community, diplomatic/security issues and economic issues cannot be separated. I also have Japan-U.S. Foreign Ministerial with Secretary Blinken to follow up on the achievements of President Biden's visit to Japan in May, and to once again reaffirm our close collaboration to further strengthen our alliance and towards realization of a free and open Indo-Pacific. I will also give a speech at the CSIS. I'm looking forward to discuss my recognition of today's regional and international situations and strategic environment, and to share my views on the roles of Japan and the United States and the challenges we face. This is going to be my first visit to Washington, D.C. as the Japanese Foreign Minister. I'll take this opportunity to further strengthen Japan-U.S. alliance, which is the cornerstone of peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific and in the international community. Now, there's another point I would like to discuss at the outset. During the cabinet meeting, the top officials' personnel reshuffle was approved. As of the 1st and the 4th of August, these announcements will be made officially. We will distribute documents, G7 Hiroshima Summit Sherpa and Economic Deputy Minister Keiichi Ono, and he will be succeeded by Namazu and Mr. Mikanagi. Those will be approved. In order to address our challenges that we face in Ukraine, for Director General of Europe, Nakagome will be appointed, and Suzuki, the Deputy Minister in terms of Economy and Director General of Economy, will be appointed to the Minister's Secretariat, and we will have all hands on the deck to promote diplomacy. I would like to address your questions. Please raise your hands and wait until your names are called, and proceed to the microphone. And please state your name and affiliation before you speak. Mr. Imano of Mainichi Shimbun. NPT review conference. I would like to ask this question. Prime Minister and Minister have repeatedly said that you will be trying to achieve meaningful achievements. What do you actually mean by meaningful achievements? What are the assumptions that you have?
Now, NPT review conference that you have just pointed out, and if the circumstances allows, the Prime Minister Kishida plans to attend the conference, and with the participation of Prime Minister Kishida, we will make all our effort to show the meaningful progress in the NPT review conference. Let me refrain from prejudging on the result expected in the conference. However, NPT is an international conference that serves as the basis of the nuclear disarmament as well as the NPT that has participated both the nuclear power and non-nuclear power. So it is very important to further strengthen that structure. Sushiro-san, please. Good morning. Tribune News, Indonesia news agency. Tomorrow, the Indonesian president plans to make a visit to Tokyo and also plan to meet Emperor as well as to Prime Minister, the leaders of the two countries. What will be the agenda that will be taken up? MOU will be drafted?
Tomorrow on the 27th, President Joko of Indonesia will be visiting Japan, and we'll be having a Japan-Indonesia Leaders Summit joint press announcement. And we will also have Japan-Indonesia Leaders Working Lunch, and Their Majesties, the Emperor and the Empress, will be seeing President Joko and his spouse. As far as Japan is concerned, Indonesia is a strategic partner with which we share basic values, and we are to closely collaborate with Indonesia towards realizing a free and open Indo-Pacific. With regards to the product document, there is no plan to sign any product document. Any other questions, please? Mr. Azuhari of Pan Orient News.
Azari Pan Orient News, Arab News Japan. My question is again about TCAD. Is Prime Minister Kishida still planning to attend the summit? And what is Japan's message and new contributions, if any, to this summit in TCAD, given the latest development in the world? Thank you.
Now, on the 27th and 28th of August, TCAD is planned to be hosted, to be held, TCAD 8. However, we have to look into the state of how spread the COVID-19 is. However, if the circumstances allows Prime Minister Kishida plans to make a visit to Tunisia to attend TCAD 8, no change to its policy based upon on top of the COVID-19, there has been surging prices of the food and energy and after the Ukraine situations, and that is giving a tremendous impact to African economy and society, and the international cooperations is becoming even more significant. In March of this year, there has been a ministerial meeting of the TICA that I served as a chair. The Ukraine circumstances has given an impact to Africa, and the need for the cooperations of the international community was discussed at that occasions in TICAD 8 in August of this year. Based upon the discussion that we've been having, the food security will be evaluated, and also we plan to discuss about the development challenges of Africa. Looking toward the post-COVID days, we plan to show the future course of African development. Abe-san, Yomiuri Shimbun. Abe from Yomiuri newspaper. On the 27th of September, the state funeral of late former Prime Minister Abe. In the other day, there has been the executions of the democratic activists, and also there has been the international criticism. Do you accept the participant from Myanmar? What is the basic policy of the Japanese government?
Thank you for your question. Japan and Cambodia, which is the chair of ASEAN and the international community at large, have strongly urged not to carry out executions of Cambodian civilians, including pro-democratic activists. The state-owned newspaper on the 25th of July reported that unfortunately the executions were carried out, and I issued my statement yesterday, and today, together with Western countries, I've issued a joint statement. The act by the Myanmar military completely goes against the release of the detainees, which Japan has called for, and I seriously deplore that this could lead to hardening of public sentiment and deepen conflict and further isolate Myanmar in the international community. Japan expresses deepest condolences to the families of those who have lost their lives since the coup. With regards to the state funeral of former Prime Minister Abe, we have notified Myanmar. However, the specific attendees will be coordinated going forward, and I would like to refrain from further commenting on this. Any other questions? Higuchi-san of Chugoku Shimbun. You've talked about NPT, and related to NPT, together with NPT, NPDI is a framework with non-nuclear weapon states, and I know that there has been a report that there will be a foreign ministerial of NPDI, and there are some reports that Prime Minister will leave before NPDI. But what is your plan for NPDI?
Prime Minister Kishida, if the circumstances allow, NPT review conference will be attended by our Prime Minister. However, while he visits New York, the specific schedule is still under coordination. Now, regarding NPDI-related conference, nothing has been determined at the moment. Are there any other questions? No further questions? Then this will be the end of the press conference. Thank you.